Hey everyone, this is Daniella Breen. In this video, I want to share with you a framework for this journey that humanity is on, to outline the work, the focus, and the intentions and goals for what we're doing and where we're going. It comes under essentially four basic headings, but they all interrelate to each other, and it's obviously not as simplistic as I'm laying it out, but it does help to have a framework to reference. So the first heading is the Tangle. The Tangle is what is developed within humanity over tens of thousands of years. But the history of it goes much, much longer. 470,000 years ago, the planet Maldek was destroyed after many wars and violence. The civilization of Maldek was completely destroyed. The planet was blown up. Millions of lives were lost. Thousands upon thousands of soul fragments from different beings were scattered to the winds, and the planet herself ended up with a soul fragment, massive planetary fragment of consciousness, which is understandable when you consider that this being held and created a framework for an entire peaceful civilization to come into mastery, and in doing that created a great loving place, and then to have that destroyed, it's similar to an exaggerated version of a mother losing all her children, watching them being destroyed. So massive trauma that then got carried into the human consciousness and Earth. So all of this trauma, all of this stuff came into the human journey. Humanity was responsible for processing the trauma of this, the karma of this, not because it was to blame, but because it had to be done. And so this was taken, it was part of the agreement of Earth's journey. And so we have all this massive trauma, some of it about 500,000 years old, that has distorted human consciousness, dark consciousness entities, beings and people who choose dark ways have manipulated and distorted consciousness over time, over thousands and thousands of years. We have systems in a conscious world of mastery. All of our systems are maintained. So by systems, I mean everything from the government system, the legal system, all of the different systems that we have, religious systems, all of those systems are maintained and cared for energetically. But in this messy world, that doesn't even come close to happening. And the consequences are that we have all of these systems that have been heavily infected and taken over by darkness. They are not in service to humanity. They pretend to be, but they're not. They're actually in with for darkness's greed and the greed of different beings. It's about enslavement. And so all of this, humanity is tangled in all of this big tangled system. It's still very much alive and kicking. It's still going, but it won't last. Humanity's responsibility, and every individual person's responsibility when their consciousness kicks in, is to undo their place in the tangle, is to unravel their bits and pieces of roots and wounding and so on that has developed over years, and free themselves from the tangle that is the lower system in the old world. So that journey is underway. You are on that journey now, and the work that is involved in that is massive and it's complex, and I won't go into it now, but it's everything from self-help books and therapy to energy work and clearing, and it's just a massive thing, but it's completely doable. And as you free yourself bit by bit over time, you get better and better at doing it, and you develop more skills, and you have more connection to your soul because you're relating more to higher consciousness than distorted, tangled consciousness, and therefore you get more guidance, more memory of how you've developed your skill in past times and so on. So it's fine. It's nothing to worry about, but it is something to recognize. If you understand, you will be freeing yourself from the tangle. The second heading that I want to bring in with this human journey is the alignment with the ultimate sacred truth of you. Okay, everyone has it. Everyone is truly not just sacred, but is truly God, and exists at all these different dimensional levels and states of consciousness, but doesn't relate to it very well, if at all, at a human level. But whatever gaps are missing, whatever consciousness disconnects exist, because you're relating to the tangle and the distortion, and it's all compacted. Human consciousness is compacted, so it can't see itself very well. Whatever exists, as you undo yourself from the tangle, you increasingly open up to higher levels of soul consciousness. And part of your responsibility is building that alignment, developing that connection, connecting more deeply and relating more deeply to the ultimate sacred truth of you, to the different aspects of you, to higher consciousness, to light, and so on. And so that's the second framework, the second part of the framework to have awareness of. So you've got untangling yourself from the tangle, from the lower world, or the lower system in the old world, aligning with the sacred truth of you and higher consciousness and light, all the different ways and frames of reference that you can think of. And so examples of that includes aligning with the heart light, working with light consciousness, developing your relationships with ascended masters and higher beings, the Elohim, the Lords of Karma, all of these beautiful beings, and so on. So that's the second heading that I wanted to focus on. The third heading is ascension. Now, as I said, this is all tangled in together, but if you take it strictly as it is, ascension is in both the alignment with the sacred truth of you, but also the redevelopment of your energy system and your physical body into a state of ascended management or ascended presence or support for the ascended state in the human being. So your body, your energy system unmorphs and raises in vibration over time to come into higher consciousness and to be able to hold itself there and to be operating at that higher, much higher frequency and the more whole state of consciousness. So that's the third aspect, ascension itself. Now, the fourth aspect comes after all of this. And please understand, I know people are talking about that we're in the new world, but the new world, humanity has not transferred into the new world yet. What's happening is, as people leave the tangle and align more with the sacred truth of self and ascend more, because it is a journey and it takes time, as that happens, they move up into the higher frequencies of the old world. Now, the higher frequencies of the old world is where we lived and where we operated during the Lemurian times. It is absolutely beautiful frequency. You can absolutely reach self-mastery at that level, and it is heavenly. And after the hell that is the lower world, after thousands of years of that, it feels free. But it is not the new world, and that is a confusion that continues in people's teachings. It's not the new world. Humanity will start moving into the new world once the bulk of humanity has left the lower system and is operating in ascended state, in fifth dimensional consciousness and higher. And at that stage, when it is right, humanity will move into the new world, and the whole of Earth will move into the new world. She holds presence there, Gaia holds presence there, it's true, but humans don't as yet. But we will. So, let's go through it again. You've got leaving the tangle, aligning with the sacred truth, ascending your system, and coming into the new world. These are the four headings that are simple aspects or of a framework that provide a good framework for you to operate from and for me to share consciousness from. So that's what I'm going to be doing. I'm going to be sharing more and more deeper consciousness of these different aspects and different things that contribute to your work in these areas. In this human journey that we're on right now. That's what I wanted to share. Have a beautiful day. Goodbye.